G'day folks, Tony again here for more Star Control 2. Alright, we only have Class 1 tectonics here on Pluto, so it shouldn't be too hazardous. We're going to send something down here towards this mineral deposit that we've found. We're going to go and try and pick it up. And then after we've done so, that looked interesting and different. We're going to drive our way down here towards this energy signature and see what we find. Interesting. Mayday from surface. We have come under fire from an alien vessel we found hiding on the surface of Pluto. We have returned fire, but our stunner can't penetrate the ship's hull armor. Captain, they killed Kowalski, Fritz, Chin, O'Donnell, Luigi, and all three of the Lieberman triplets. We are initiating emergency launch procedures. End of transmission. So back we come. That was unfortunate. But now, attention, big, mean, hostile alien vessel hovering overhead in an obvious attack posture. This is Sparthy Captain Fwifo. I know you are going to torture me, so let's just get this over with right now. The coordinates of my homeworld, Spathiwa, are 241.6, or whatever that was, and the ultra-secret Sparthy cipher, which is known only by me and several billion other Sparthy, is Huffy Muffy Guffy. Sorry about that little mistake with your landing vehicle. I was so startled when it approached my vessel in a threatening manner that my automated defense systems fired on it when it got too close. I hope nobody got hurt. Interesting. So we have a range of options here as we're talking to Fwifo, the Sparthy. Clearly an alien of some description. So we can try and be hostile. We can try and be friendly. We can try and pretend we're scared. Or we can attack them. We're not going to do the bottom one. Now, because I know a little bit about Star Control lore, I know that the Sparthy tend to be fairly cowardly, so let's try pushing them by pretending to be super mean. Attention, alien vessel, identify yourself or be destroyed. Of course, of course. As I said, I am Captain Fwifo of the Sparthy void ship Star Runner. Our sensors have tracked your entry into this system, which you are no doubt here to conquer. And while you are certainly welcome to do so, we would be greatly appreciative if you would please just go away and forget this star system ever existed. If you don't go, it will greatly complicate our master-slave relationship with the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here to watch over the Earthlings. We suggest you immediately perform whatever cultural practices are customary to your species preceding death. Again, I think we will push them a little further. Certainly, most gracious destroyer, all is well known before departing this mortal helix. All Sparthy must complete the short, poignant ritual of Weziwaza to be assured of a secure afterlife. And by allowing us to fulfill this requirement, you too shall be granted immortality in our beautiful afterworld, which is absolutely guaranteed to be free of similarly immortal monsters who would otherwise eat the both of us. Interesting. Okay, so we're not going to do the fight option. We might push them one more time. You may begin your ritual, and if I might make a small suggestion, be done in less than 2 minutes. Grief and woe, certainly a destroyer of innocence as well-travelled as yourself, must know that the formalities of Weziwaza are invalid unless performed on the large moon orbiting our homeworld Spathiwa, which is only 143 light-years distant, and if I remember correctly, is especially beautiful this time of year. Shall we go there now? Interesting. We'd be delighted to accompany you to your homeworld. What are its hyperspace coordinates? Why not? Let's try and dig for a little bit of intel. My most wonderful planet, Spathiwa, circles a safe distance from the orange giant star Yuffo, which is at hyperspace coordinates... Hey, wait a minute! Is this some kind of Homo sape trick to get the location of my homeworld? So that you can visit it with devastation? I think we might have pushed it far enough. We might just ease back a little bit. No, you've got me all wrong. I promise I'll be nice. I just don't know. I want to believe you, I really do, but the risk to my people is just too great. Anyway, I think I just forgot the coordinates. Let me see if I can remember them. Nope. I'm afraid they're gone forever, so torturing me would just be a waste of your time. Alright, so it might be time to try and dig for a little more intel. What are you doing here on Pluto? About 20 years ago, this region of space was dominated by a loose confederation known as the Alliance of Free Stars, which was composed of the aliens native to these parts who didn't want to be enslaved. They made a valiant effort against the superior Ur-Quan forces, and it even looked like they might miraculously defeat the combined Ur-Quan armada, right up to the point at which the Ur-Quan totally defeated, indeed annihilated them. So, what are you doing here on Pluto? When the Ur-Quan armada entered this system to subjugate formerly the Earthlings, the Ur-Quan presented the humans with the standard slave options. Join the hierarchy as combat thralls and retain some autonomy, including the right to travel through space, or become a fallow species and return to pre-atomic savagery on the surface of their homeworld, encased for all time beneath an impenetrable force shield. The humans chose the latter option, and so were swiftly imprisoned on the surface of Earth. But the Ur-Quan didn't trust them to obey the restrictions, so they chose a small group of hierarchy combat starships from the Ilrath and Spathi fleets to serve as the so-called Earth Guard and station them at a base on Earth's moon. Tell me what you were doing on Pluto now! Originally, we were stationed on Earth's moon, which made our Spathi a bit uneasy, because with each passing day we grew more and more worried about the sneaky Earthlings making a surprise attack. Though the Ilrath kept telling us that was impossible, since the Earthlings had no ships or weapons whatsoever. That made us feel a bit better, but when the Ilrath left, we again grew fearful, and decided to make a strategic redeployment to Mars. Later on, we decided it would be prudent to relocate to Jupiter's moon, Ganymede, and then later Saturn's moon, Titan, and finally here to Pluto. So, Fwifo, I'm really curious, what happened to the Ilrath stationed here? The Ilrath contingent were supposed to be the toughest, the most rigid yes, the backbone of the Earth Guard force, but they departed the system en masse. Not long after the last Ur-Quan dreadnought vanished from this region of space. They claimed to have received a direct order from their gods of evil and darkness, who had grown dissatisfied with the Ilrath's passivity, and wanted them to kill or at least torture someone soon. Personally, I believe they just got bored and went off to have some fun. Hey Fwifo, when do you expect the Ilrath to return? Well, when they were pushing up into hyperspace 18 years ago, we asked them that very question. And I think they said something to the effect of, real soon. Yes, I am wondering, what is happening at the base on Luna then? We decided that if the Earthlings figured out we had abandoned the base on Luna, they would be more likely to try something sneaky. So we rigged up some old bio-droids to drive around on the lunar surface in bulldozers, endlessly pushing around the same piles of dirt. In addition, we connected the base's radio transmitter to the audio portion of Winky's Happy Night, my favorite Melnorm fun ROM, hoping that the Earthlings would think we were still there. Yes, Swiffer, I'm wondering what happened to the other Sparthy ships. Over the past years, it became necessary to redeploy strategically some of our Earthguard forces to our homeworld in case of a sudden surprise attack by a vicious, unrelenting alien race which we Sparthy call the Ultimate Evil. How many crew do you have aboard? Dozens, that is to say scores and perhaps even hundreds of my brethren stride through the corridors of this specially modified, super-efficient, mass-destruction-oriented starship, which could lay siege to an entire planetary system should we so choose. Fortunately for you, we have decided not to today. Hundreds? Come on. I am undone. You are far too clever for a poor Sparthy like me. And now I must submit to your superior alien intellect. I guess I am not revealing any truly important secrets if I tell you that each of my species' Eluder-class void ships typically holds 30 Sparthy crewmen. Though at present my vessel, the Star Runner, is not up to full complement, due to the needs of my homeworld in their resistance against the ultimate evil. And in fact, my vessel is somewhat understaffed right now, seeing as how I am the only Sparthy on board, which is a bit frightening, as I am sure you can understand. Interesting. Let's stop doing all the default responses for a little bit, and we'll say, who or what is this ultimate evil? As yet, the ultimate evil remains largely unmanifested, and its powers and exact intentions are still a bit obscure, since it lurks just outside the range of even the most sensitive long-range detectors, which we feel gives conclusive evidence as to the ultimate evil's nefarious intent. The galaxy teems with threatening monsters. Are you happy here, alone and vulnerable? How true, Captain, how true. In truth, just between us during the past 7 years, I have been quite ill at ease. Yet now I find myself enjoying your company with this witty dialogue, and the presence of your huge, powerful, death-dealing starship, which, being my friend, you would certainly feel compelled to use in order to save me from any hostile life forms who threaten me with death. Why are you still here, Captain Whiffo? Since it was our most powerful and unforgiving masters, the Ur-Quan, who stationed us here, we knew it would be grossly stupid to disobey them completely, but we decided that it would be okay to send just one ship home. We used one of our most ancient and solemn rituals, Punta Fi, to pick the lucky ship. Then some months later we decided that it wouldn't really hurt if we sent one more ship home. And then later we sent another, and then another. Well, you get the idea. Alas, as fate would have it, when the final ritual was performed, I, Whiffo, was left here alone. And as even the most immature encrustling knows, there must always be one Sparthy who picks the short tarpoon stick. Hey, Whiffo, where are the Ur-Quan now? Our masters don't really keep us very well informed about their goings-on. So all that we know is that immediately after the subjugation of the last Alliance race, the Yihat, I think, the Ur-Quan gathered their dreadnoughts and departed Corwood, commanding us to obey the slave laws or face their wrath when they returned. Fwifo, I'm curious, do you know anything about other alien races?
We only know bits and pieces of what happened to each race. For instance, when defeated, the Yihat joined the hierarchy as combat thralls, while the Cyrene chose to be slave-shielded on a planet in the Bugsquirt star system. No, that's not right. I forget its name anyway. Where was I? Oh yes, the Shafixti. They were utterly wiped out in a gigantic blaze of glory. The Shafixti is what we asked the Starbase commander about a little earlier because it was at the top of the list. And now we're going to ask Fwifo, what's the Shafixti blaze of glory? The Shafixti were half feral, as you know, having been uplifted by the Yihat just a few decades before the start of the war. Given their habit of detonating those suicidal so-called glory devices in combat, it came as no particular surprise to me when, upon the arrival of the Ur-Quan primary task force at their homeworld, the Shafixti caused their sun to explode in a colossal supernova, destroying the entire planetary system and not incidentally dozens of Ur-Quan dreadnoughts. Snog, snog, snog.
Hey, what about yourself, Fwifo?
Me? You mean me personally? How nice of you to ask. I was born a poor green encrustling, the youngest child of a family of 18,487. My male parent had to work hard to support us, very hard. But each of my brothers and sisters and I tried to help out to make ends meet. The female parent was kind and sweet to all of us. Why, she once even called me by name. She said, "Fwifo, Fwifo, darling, would you please answer the door? I think someone's there." What a treat! A golden memory. I swiftly matured into a fine example of my species and with my parents' assistance achieved independence. Specifically, they pried me from the door jamb and rolled me into the street. Thus prepared, I set out to make my fortune. I had great dreams in those days, yes, great dreams. I knew that someday I would be vastly rich, wealthy enough to afford a large, well-fortified mansion. Surrounding my mansion would be vast tracts of land through which I could slide at any time I wished. Of course, one can never be too sure that there aren't monsters hiding just behind the next bush. So I would plant trees to climb at regular, easy-to-reach intervals. And being a Sparthy of the world, I would know that some monsters climb trees, though often not well. So I would have my servants place in each tree a basket of perfect stones. Not too heavy, not too light, just the right size for throwing at monsters. I was thinking about what color the stones would be painted, aqua, mauve, or magenta, when a vegetable cart came careening down the street outside my house and knocked me unconscious. When I awoke, I was aboard the void ship Starrunner, heading for Earth. Apparently, I had been out of my head for quite some time after the accident. And with the assistance of some kind strangers, had been relieved of my funds and convinced to join the Navy, where I had been unpleasantly employed for the last 25 years.
Interesting. Now that we've exhausted all of the lore, let's ask Fwifo if he will join our fleet. I'm sure you'd feel a lot safer if you were with us. Come on, Fwifo, join our fleet.
Happy days and jubilation. I discard all prejudice and hesitations and accept and celebrate your offer of protection. And your undying commitment to my well-being. I must wax melancholy for just a moment, though, and make sure you understand that any other Sparthy ships we meet at large in the galaxy are not going to be quite so responsive to your friendly gestures as myself, since they bear more heavily the yoke of Ur-Quan enslavement, and are also apt to talk themselves out of allying with a totally unknown alien, which I, having been left here alone, cannot do. In addition, you will no doubt wish to reverse engineer my vessel, the Starrunner. While I am sure this will be an interesting and educational experience for your technicians, I must explain that even if you were to duplicate my eluder vessel, you would be unable to use it in combat because you would lack the expertise of native captains. So without further ado, welcome me aboard, Captain.
Hey, we did it! And we have another starship there in our fleet. So that means we should be able to slowly make our way back to the Earth. We're going to go back and see what the Starbase Commander has to say about our recent acquisition. I think we also need to stock up on some more crew, and then we're going to have to head out of our solar system to try and find some more stuff. We also have a fair load of goods and resources that we can dump back down. A couple of things I wanted to point out while I remember them. At one point there was, whoops, classic. At one point there was mention of the Shifixti, I believe, being uplifted by the Yihut. And uplifting as a science fiction principle is a topic that's much covered in the Uplift saga, which was written by David Brin, and I do recommend that you check those out. The other thing I wanted to point out about this game is the music. You may have noticed already, even though I do have it fairly quiet, that there are quite a few different musical tracks, each alien species, in fact, having its own distinct set of music and also musical sting when you win in combat. All of this music for its era was quite remarkable, and it's all using mod technology, so it was quite low disk space, even though it sounds pretty damn good. Let's go and have a chat to the Starbase Commander. Captain Clapton, I'm glad you made it back in one piece. Me too. Commander, I have minerals to offload. The Dank's cargo manifest lists 102 of that. 41 of that, 160 of that, 168 of that, 5 of that. Not a bad job, Captain Clapton. I agree. I think that's probably all we need right now. Doesn't look like he's got anything particular to say to us. So let's go and see if we can spend some of those goods on some things. If we have a look at our shipyard, we're going to see that there's only one of 30 there in that Sparthy Eluder. That being FWIFO. But we do want to stock our ship up with some more crews, so we're going to top it all the way back out to 50 there again. That's good. Do we also want another Earthling cruiser? I think we can afford it, so let's do that. And I think that also means that we're going to need to add some crew to that ship. I'm assuming we can't add it to this one. Oh no, we can. Interesting. I guess because FWIFO's on board, FWIFO can fly it. So we get fully stocked up. Good, good. And let's try and outfit our ship here as well. I think it would be good to add some more modules. We have a reasonable amount of cargo. Don't think we want another planet lander, but some turning jets so that we can turn a bit quicker I think would be an excellent idea. So we're going to grab that. Sure, we'll pop them there. I'm going to get another one. We'll pop them here. Good times. Storage base, I think we're good, but a fusion thruster is another 500. I mean, sure, going a little faster, I guess, won't do us too much harm. The one other thing that I think we should be doing is refueling, because we are going to fly out of the solar system. So let's crank that up a little. How far can we go? 35 seems good to me. Good times. All right. Now that we have all of that in order, let's go and try exploring outside of the solar system. What could possibly go wrong? So the Dank setting off with 35 fuel and a full complement of 50 crew. We have some extra thrusters and a little bit of extra turn capacity. We can't actually shoot with anything just yet. So our flagship not able to fight, but we now have 2 Earthling cruisers and a fully staffed Sparthy Eluder to help us out. And here we are in hyperspace, so we can see that little map down in the bottom right-hand corner. And we're going to make our way to this star because it's nearby, and in we fall. Here we are at Sirius. Why so Sirius? Well, it was the closest. And there's my dad joke for the episode. Let's see what we've got here at Planet 1. Very romantically named. I'm sure this color indicates something, but I can't remember what colors are what. We're just going to hop on in and give it a scan. Class 3 weather, Class 6 tectonics. That sounds dreadful. It looks like there's a lot of stuff there, but oh boy, even though some of those are real substantial deposits, we might have something of a problem if we try to jump in there and grab them. And I don't think that will be the best use of our time at this exact point. I'm sure there are easier pickings, so let's leave that for now. We'll keep it in mind. It's very close to the Sol system, so it won't be all that difficult to make our way back there at some point if we feel that we're going to be able to collect things while taking less damage. Back to hyperspace we go. So I see there's another star downwards here. We'll head that way, keeping an eye on that fuel consumption. It's not draining too quickly, so I think we might be okay. I can see a shadow there heading towards us. That could be bad news. It looks like we just managed to escape it. Here we are at Alpha Lyrae. So let's go and have a look at these planets here. I'm sure that ship is going to be waiting for us. Whoopsie daisy. Is going to be waiting for us as we leave the system. I swear I'm going to get better at this in time. It just hasn't happened quite yet. So what we're really looking for here is a planet that has fairly friendly weather and tectonics, but a good batch of resources for us to pick up. So this is a 3 and a 1. That's actually not too bad. Just the mineral stuff there. So we'll make our way downwards and we'll collect these things. A little bit of lightning, which is never particularly fun. I'm not quite sure if we're going to have enough to be able to pick all of this up in one go, but we'll try our best. No, we're going to be one short by the looks of it. Ow. Are we full? I think we are full. We are indeed full. Losing 2 crew there. And even though this is a fuel loss, we'll pop down and collect this last bit. Just turning circles are always a bit tricky. Good stuff. One more planet to go, only being 2 planets here in this particular star system. And then we'll have to face the terror of whatever that ship was that was pursuing us through hyperspace. Quick zoom by the star here. Then over this way towards the planet. I think it's starting to come back to me now. The sideways steer to make sure that you hit something might be the way to go. What goodies await us on this particular planet? We've got a Class 3 tectonics, no energy, no biology, and a rather unfortunate sort of blue on blue here, which makes them a little tricky to see. I think that's part of the trick though. There's a grey one up here, all fairly small deposits, but every little bit counts in terms of resource conversion, and in many cases I don't anticipate that we're going to be returning to planets once we have harvested them for resources, unless there's a particular... Whoops, I missed one. Unless there's a particular story reason to do so. So possibly a little bit of fuel wastage there because I didn't quite spot that last little pip. All right. Here we go. We're done. And now we're going to have to find out what it is that's lurking for us in hyperspace. So we'll just zoom out a little bit But we are going to have to leave it there because that's all the time we have for this part of the Let's Play. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you'd like to be notified when other episodes are released. Please tell a friend if you think they might enjoy this. And come back again soon for more Star Control 2.